Hello, welcome. I'm Will, the Nerdy Nerf Herder. We're back here today in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Let's jump right into it. We're going to head out into the dunes here.
Oh, good hunting.
And our goal is to get the trigger for Juhani. I can't quite remember where it's at. I want to say if we go... We looted that, right? Yes, we did. The second zone of the desert is when he'll attack. But it may be a different world entirely at this moment that the assault triggers. It may be that we do indeed need to just go to Manaan. We'll cross back over and we'll head back. We'll take the long way back. Figure no point in transporting back just on the off chance we trigger it on the way back. And we can deal with those.
What?
I don't know why it highlighted Juhani there. That was kind of funny. Alright, let's go back here and get our raid plate. I love how as a player, we never discover any raid plates that come close to what the lady sold us at the very beginning of Tatooine. And it kind of reinforces the idea that your character is here, they're not a hunter, and you're just dealing with basic raids that attack you in the desert as they're hunting. You're not going after the biggest raid out there trying to get a nice trophy to sell back. But I think that's a nice little detail that they included. The fact that you've got one that's worth so much, and that in the lore there's bigger ones out there, but obviously you're not finding any of them that are that big. You're not a skilled hunter, you're just a guy passing through. And I love that. And we're going to keep Jolie's lightsaber green at the moment. We'll eventually turn it purple, probably, after we get the special crystals from, oh shoot, Yavin, the mechanic there. Which we will eventually get those crystals to trigger. Alrighty. Now off to Manaan. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And welcome. The Manaan is a world full of water. And it almost reminds you of Camino. Well, we just started off, we just started off with today. We have this planet to go, and then we'll kind of hit the high point of the game to go into the in-game mode after this planet.
You felt it, yes? Another vision? The Force continues to work through us, showing us the star maps unearthed by Reverend Malak. It is strange that anyone would have built a star map here. The entire surface of Manaan is covered by nothing but vast oceans.
So we're going to go with... It looks like the star map was underwater. Maybe the land was once above the surface. We're going to... Say that.
It is possible.
It is
The melting
possible.
of polar caps or a cataclysmic earthquake could have buried the land beneath the waves eons ago. Records from that time are incomplete. The ocean floor is vast, and much of it is uncharted, even by the native Selkath. But how could Revan and Malak have found their way down? No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map's location.
Alright. So we're gonna take Jolie and Juhani with us for now as we step on to Manaan.
You Republic people are so pathetic, sitting around groveling at the table scraps the galactic senators deign to give you. It makes me sick.
The senators work for the good of the whole galaxy, not for individual gain.
Ha! Don't make me laugh, you gutless simp. It's the destiny of weak-minded fools like you to be ruled over by the strong, like we Sith.
I'm warning you. Don't push me or you'll get just what you're asking for.
Try it. Just try it. I'd love to see you throw the first punch. And with all the cameras around, the Selkath would be all over you inside of 30 seconds. You break their laws. You pay the price, Republic scum. But I can see that you're not man enough to back up your words anyway. If you ever feel like relieving yourself of your worthless existence, feel free to come by our enclave here. We have many, many ways to fulfill your wish.
So, one thing I like about the Manaan...
Oh, I apologize, Master Jedi. I should not have been rude.
Story arc here is it really highlights just the amount of work it would take to truly remain neutral between good versus evil. And the fact that even though this planet is trying to remain neutral between the Sith and the Republic, due to their pacifist nature and the overall role that Manaan plays in the galaxy at this point in the timeline, which we'll get into that as we kind of move into here. I think it's a notable commentary on society as a whole, just that breaking point of when does it become more work to be neutral between good and evil when you could easily be doing the right thing. Alright, so we're going to ask him why the Sith upset him so much.
Well, these damn Sith are everywhere on Manaan, pushing us Republic citizens around, trying to goad us into breaking the law somewhere.
Breaking the law?
Yeah, the Selkath want to maintain their neutrality in this war we're fighting with the Sith, and they enforce it very strictly. So we just have to sit here and let the Sith insult us, and we can't raise a hand against them. Otherwise, the Republic will face severe KotOR export restrictions, and that could lose us the war altogether.
What is KotOR?
You're joking, right? I'm sorry, but everyone knows what KotOR is. It's the most powerful healing agent in the galaxy. I would have died several times myself if we didn't have this stuff handy. But the reason it's important here is that KotOR is only found naturally on Manaan, and all of our attempts to synthesize it have failed miserably. So, we sit here on the surface, the Selkath harvesting what KotOR bubbles up from the bottom of the ocean, and we buy it from them. Well, us and the Sith, of course. The Selkath don't want to play favorites.
Why haven't they joined the
The
Republic?
Selkath think that by staying neutral, they can play both sides, selling KotOR to everyone that needs it, and making themselves too valuable to be worth conquering. Well, that, and they threaten to destroy the only natural source of KotOR on the planet if anyone tries to attack them. But I think they're underestimating the length the Sith will go to get what they want. They're probably planning something already. Is there anything else you require? Of course. If you have any other questions, you should probably see Roland Wan. He's the Republic diplomat here. He's by the Republic Enclave near the visitor residences. Oh, if you don't know where that is, go north from here, then south past the port official in the first courtyard, east into the second courtyard, then north, then east again. You got that? Have a pleasant stay, Master Jedi.
Alrighty. So, for those of you who have paid attention to the lore that's not necessarily in the movies, Bacta tank is what you see Luke in, and after his attack from the Wampa in episode 5, you see Boba Fett in a Bacta tank all throughout the Boba Fett Book of Boba Fett series. That all serves the same purpose as KotOR does in this game. And the events of this game are what kind of pushes Bacta tanks forward, I think. And I just love the fact that they tried to make things where it made sense within the greater lore. Even though they were introducing this way in the past, they're like, okay, we can take some liberties, we can add things that are new and exciting that still feel like Star Wars, that it's an easy explain why it isn't this way in episodes 1, 2, and 3, or by the time of Luke's Star Wars movies, which were out long before. And when this game came out in 2003, you have to realize we were dealing with the digital re-releases of Star Wars, episodes 4, 5, and 6. And we had episode 1 and episode 2 coming out, and 2005 would be episode 3. So like Star Wars fever was almost at peak for what it would get. Lego Star Wars had just become a thing. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and speak to Jolie.
Got something on your mind, dude?
You never did actually say why you decided to come with me.
No, I never did I?
You know, I don't have to take you with me. Are you always going to be this elusive?
Elusive? Me elusive? Obviously, you've never tried to grab a Twi'lek dancing girl after drinking too much Onderan Willick juice. At any rate, I already told you why I wanted to leave. I'd seen everything I wanted to on Kashyyyk. Time to go. Time to move on.
Move on to where?
To bed. I'm old and tired, you know.
No, really.
How many kilometer-high trees can you find an interest in before you figure you've had enough? I'd bet you can't be bothered to stay in one room for more than 15 minutes. And then there's all the critters in the Shadowlands. I'm just happy to be back in space, doing something new. Is that too much to ask?
You could do that on your own. Damn right it is. No, I guess not.
There. Now, was that so hard? An old man has to be allowed some petty eccentricities. Nice to see you agree for once. I'll admit, for all its flaws, Kashyyyk was home enough. But when you came along and I saw the destiny you had before you, I couldn't help but be intrigued.
You know what my destiny is? What interest do you have in my future? Just keep your opinions to yourself?
Interest? Well, I certainly don't have a vested interest. Call it more idle curiosity. Your destiny is rather unclear. In fact, everything about you that I can see is odd. Slightly off, as if my eyes are trying to trick me. Something is very dark about you. But, I'm sure you don't need to hear my ruminations. You've probably got enough nosy Jedi offering you one opinion after another to make you sick.
No, tell me more of what you see. You got that right. I have enough Jedi watching me. So you're coming along to not offer your opinions?
Your future will come of its own accord, trust me. Sometimes navel-gazing at it doesn't get you anywhere. I wouldn't worry about it too much if I were you. You remind me a bit of Nomi. And that can be all bad.
Nomi? Who's Nomi?
Nomi's Sunrider. She came late to the Force, just as you have, and became one of the greatest Jedi ever. Oh, fine, fine lass. Whether you'll follow the same path remains to be seen. For one thing, we'll never get anywhere if you stand around chatting up old men all day.
I don't bring you along for your amusement, you know. So you're along as some kind of observer? I don't need another mentor.
Nonsense. If I ever refused to help you when you asked, how confused can one person be anyway? One thing I will say is that this little escapade does remind me a bit of my adventuring days before the war. Those were exciting times. Or at least it would remind me of those times if we didn't stand around. What's keeping you? You're too young to be so talkative. Shoo! Shoo!
So I love the fact that like the game was like, hey, talk to this person, talk to them, and Jolie's just like, why are you talking to me? Let's move on. But yeah, Jolie's my favorite. Reminds me of my dad.
My KotOR blood
Both are rather
seethes
gruff.
at the thought of that man still running free. I cannot stand still when I think about it, but I will not give in to the dark side either. He will pay for his crimes, though. He will most likely be following us. Me. If we could find him first, then he may not be able to set in motion whatever he has in store for us. My KotOR blood. He.
Alrighty. Like I didn't move. All I did was swivel the camera. So I think there's a chest in here that I've got to grab. Usually they kind of hide stuff in the landing bays around the ships. It's a useful way to kind of replenish some of your med packs and supplies sometimes. But for once, we may not have any. Alright. Maybe it's this way. No. Those bins don't open. So there's a cell cath up here on the left. All the little Gizka, little frog-like creatures that are hopping around the ship that they accidentally put into our ship at Tatooine. He can be convinced. Not this one here. Greetings, human. Welcome to Atto City. Visitors to Visual Stand. We are here to provide visitors with all manner of indigenous treats and products produced right here on Manaan. We carry all manner of foods and provisions and have contacts with resellers across the world to provide you, the customer, with the best shopping experience possible. How is it that Atto City Provisional Company can help you today? Let me see your inventory. So like if we need more advanced med packs, we can buy that. It's just a basic shop. But the guy that's gonna... Yeah, see, I guess he's the next one. Yeah. He's like, have you got any interesting creatures? And we can convince him to take the Gizka off the ship. Greetings, forgive me if this seems an odd question, Off-Worlder, but might you have any exotic species for sale? Nothing dangerous, mind you. Exotic species? What sort of exotic species? Why would you want to buy animals? I have some Gizka if you're interested. Let's ask him why. Ah, good question. The Selkath has little exposure to life from other planets. you see. But our government hopes to change that. We are setting up a zoological compound for visitation by the public, and are hoping to stock it with non-offensive foreign creatures of all types. The only problem right now is actually procuring the exotic species we need. Cellcat import restrictions are quite prohibitive, to say the least. So you want to smuggle them in? I would not use such harsh words, Off-Worlder. Let us say that I am interested in engaging in private trade that is allowed according to our laws. Finding Off-Worlders that deal in such trade is most difficult, however. I have become quite desperate. Might you have what I seek? I have some Giska, if you're interested. Giska? You speak of the small bipedal amphibians with the overly high reproductive rate, correct? Oh no, I'm afraid I cannot take those. A compatriot of mine made the mistake of purchasing a pair of such creatures several months ago. Within weeks, our storage facilities were nearly overrun. If you are in possession of such creatures, I hope you keep them separated. If not, you have my condolences. So you can either persuade here. Is there no way I can convince you to take them off my hands? But these are special Giska. They don't reproduce like the others do. Actually, I would really like to get rid of these creatures. Thanks anyway, then. We're gonna go with, is there no way I can convince you to take them off my hands? I suppose having a few of the creatures would not be of harm. We do have experience handling them now, I suppose. Since they are so difficult to maintain, however, I would ask that you provide 100 credits. Then I will take them off your hands. Deal, I want those things off my ship as soon as possible. I was hoping to sell them. How about we just call it even? You want me to pay you? How about you give me 100 credits? We'll go with this. We'll call it even. Sigh, I suppose it is better than nothing. We must have some creatures in our exhibit after all. So they're going to take them on off our ship. So, real quick, if you're still with us, I do post all of my streams on YouTube as well, so you can catch up on the entire playthrough of the game on YouTube. If you're still with us, Free Kilimanjaro. So, this is the Sith landing bay. We're going to walk away from here before there's some trouble. And you can just find me on the link with on my Twitch page, and it's the Nerdy Nerf Herder. It's got the same image, profile image, as I've got here on Twitch and on Instagram. Guy over there, he wants to play Pazak. And then in order to open that door, we have to talk to this port official. Welcome to Manaan. While you are here, I trust you will allow all the rules governing the activities of off-worlders. Don't worry, I'll follow the rules. What are the rules exactly? Pathetic laws of pathetic fish don't concern me. We're gonna go with... Don't worry, I'll follow the rules. There's a docking fee of 100 credits. You will have to pay this fee each time you dock on Manaan, or you will not be permitted into Ato City. So we can try to persuade. The amount of the fee is legislated by the Manaan Board of Trade and Tourism. I am not at liberty to haggle on this matter. Very well, here's the docking fee. Manaan Board of Trade and Tourism thanks you, Offworlder. Here is a visitor guide and map to the city. Refer to it if you should have any questions. The gates of Otto City are now open to you. You may come and go as you please, so long as you do not leave the planet. If you do, you will have to pay the docking fee once more. Which, typically, I tend to knock out what I need to here. But we'll end up doing everything, and then we'll probably leave the planet, go back to Tatooine at some point, and do the swoop racing, and then come back here and do the swoop racing again. So we're going to talk to Jolie. Tell me about Sunry. How do you know him?
What? You think because I'm a hermit, I've always been a hermit? Just because I haven't seen Sunry for 20 years doesn't mean he's not a friend. A man could have changed a lot in that span of time, though. To become a murderer, I can't see it. That's not the Sunry I knew. He was a good man. Put me up in his home for a year back after I left the Order. War hero, too. Or so I hear. I wouldn't mind helping the fellow if we can. I owe it to him. Or you can be a young monkey lizard and ignore me, I guess. I don't expect much these days.
Alright. One moment, I'm going to look up something and see if I can't find exactly where the trigger is. Alrighty, so it looks like the main trigger seems to be fast traveling back to the ship. So we'll make sure we figure out that to get that fixed. I said travel kind of through. We're going to head to the right here, because we're going to pick up some quest points along the way here. I know Republic Embassy is our main destination here, but we're going to pick up some quests and missions over here, starting right here.
It is you. I need your help.
Laura, of all the people, how did you even know I'd left Kashyyyk?
I didn't. Nobody knew where you were, not even Sunry. But I heard the Selkath mention you and your friends. The Force has brought you to help us.
Why? Whatever could be the matter, my dear?
It's horrible, Jolie. Sunry has been arrested. The Sith have accused him of murder.
Murder? But how?
It's all a mistake, Jolie. Sunry isn't a murderer. Someone is trying to frame him.
Calm down, Elora. Where's Sunry now?
Sunry's being held at the Selkath courts. They won't let anyone in to see him. Please, go to the courts. Talk to the judges. Maybe the Selkath will listen to you.
Don't worry, Elora. We'll get to the bottom of this and help Sunry. Somehow.
Alrighty. Now we're gonna go this way.
Do we have a deal?
That's an awful lot of money. Is there something you're not telling me?
Don't be so suspicious. The Republic is generous. We pay our mercenaries well.
Makes sense, I guess. All right, I'm in. When do I start?
Just show up at the Republic Embassy tomorrow and speak to our representative there. I'm sure he'll have some task he wants you to start on right away.
So we're going to talk to Nilko here. Human, I wish to speak to you if you have the time. Greetings, human. My name is Nilko Wath. I hope you are enjoying yourself here in Otto City. Our floating city is beautiful, is it not? It's truly a wonder to behold. I've seen better. You're a lot more friendly than most Selkath here. Cut the small talk, what do you want? We're gonna go with the flattery method here. You are too gracious, human. The beauty of Manaan is delicate. Our ecosystem is complex and fragile, and I fear the preservation of my planet. What are you talking about? There is a task I would ask, human. Jedi. I fear there is nowhere else I can turn. What do you want me to do? Rest assured, there will be ample reward for this, human. I only require information, nothing more. The Republic has been hiring mercenaries, many more than usual. As an official of the Selkath people, this is of great concern to me. I only seek to the reason for this change in Republic policy. Why do you need me for this? I cannot trust anyone else. The Republic obviously wants to keep their secret. I have inquired often as to their purpose and been rebuffed. The Sith cannot be trusted to give me an accurate report of the event. They will twist the truth so that it furthers their own goals. And the mercenaries are well aware of the high wages the Republic is paying. They would not report anything that might slow the flow of credit to their account. Uncover the truth behind the Republic actions, and I will pay you 500 credit.
We could look into this
to calm the Selkath spheres, though it doesn't belong, and you might not like what you find. Sorry. Please see if you can find the answers I seek. Find why the Republic is hiring so many mercenaries. Find where they are going. Find why they do not return. I'll look into it for you, Nilko. Once you discover some information, please come speak to me. Believe it or not, I am a friend of the Republic. Whatever the truth, I shall do my best to protect the Republic's interests, and those of the Selkath, of course. He's just trying to help keep things copacetic with the government and the Selkath people. And then this individual, greetings, human. My name is Shayla, and I've heard it said that you are no friend of the Sith. Is this true? The Sith are a blight upon the galaxy. My allegiance are my own business. Actually, I kind of like the Sith. They've got style. We're going to go with this one. Though I suspect we have little in common, human, I share your dislike of the Sith. They have brought grief to my family. I am not a fool. I know the Sith do not respect our laws as the Republic does. Were it up to me, I would do everything in my power to aid the Republic in the war against Malak. But intergalactic politics stay my hand. Still, I know the Sith are evil, and I fear what they will do to my people, and what they may be doing now. What are you talking about? Many of the Selkath have vanished, human. Most who have gone missing are on the cusp of adulthood. The youth who will someday leave this planet. My own daughter, Sasha, is among those who have disappeared. These disappearances coincide with the arrival of the Sith, and I cannot dismiss the connection. The Sith are up to something human, something sinister. I can feel it. Do you want me to investigate these disappearances? I will give you 500 credits if you can uncover the fate of my daughter and the other missing Selkath youth. Not much, but all I can afford. I have no official authority in this matter, and my personal wealth is not vast. There is no one else I can turn to, human. The Republic agents are too closely watched by the Sith, and the Otto City authorities cannot act without proof of Sith involvement. I shall look into these disappearances for you, Shayless. I've got better things to do than look for missing tadpoles. We're going to look into it, though. I cannot imagine where to begin the investigation, though I suspect the Sith do not act alone. Perhaps the off-worlders in the mercenary enclave will know something. If you learn anything, human, report back to me at once. If you uncover the fate of my daughter and the other missing Selkath youth, I will reward you as promised. So that's 2 missions set up.
We might have a position within the Sith organization for one such as you.
Your offer is pretty good, but I've heard some nasty things about you, Sith. Is it true you bombed Taris into dust?
This is war. In war, certain distasteful acts cannot be avoided. But ask yourself this, when we win the war, would you rather be against the Sith or with us?
You make a good point. And I've never turned down a job that pays up front.
Excellent. Report to the Sith Embassy tomorrow for your assignment.
So the Sith are trying their own recruitment strategy.
You're new around here, aren't you? My name's Duan. Care to buy a Sith girl a drink? That is, unless you're one of those simpering Republic soldiers.
So there's really not much we can gain, so we'll go ahead
come
and
on. What's the matter? Afraid I'll drink you under the table? Hey, if you're not... Seems I'm not ladylike enough for some men. Well, I may be a woman, but I'm still a soldier. Barkeep, bring me another round.
Like, you can try talking to them, but with what we're going to be doing, we're going to find the truth out anyway. Just playing through the storyline. So our next destination is going to be the courts here.
The Republic respects the peace of Otto City, Your Honor. But the Sith are a violent people who leave violence in their wake. I have 3 soldiers in the infirmary.
If the Republic soldiers were more capable, they would not have suffered such serious injuries. Are my soldiers to be punished simply because they won a fair fight?
I hardly call 6 against 3 a fair fight. The Sith are cowards who attack only when they have the advantage of numbers.
I am aware of the Republic's indignation. However, witness reports clearly state the Republic soldiers were as willing to engage in violence as the Sith in this case.
They were provoked, Your Honor. The Sith goaded them into this fight.
Taunts and threats are not sufficient provocation. In the eyes of this court, words can be ignored. which is what your men should have done. I find both the Republic and the Sith to be equally at fault for this breach of the peace. I should throw all parties involved into Otto City Jail, but since no Selkath were harmed in this conflict, I will show mercy and levy a fine of 10,000 credits to both sides. The court is dismissed, though I warn you that further disturbances will not be viewed with such leniency. So here's who we need to talk to. I am Judge KotOR, acting on behalf of the Selkath government of Manaan. It is my task today to answer the needs of off-world citizens of both the Republic and the Sith Empire. If you have legitimate grievances with another party, then you should speak to me. You should first, however, consult with the Republic Embassy before pressing formal charges. Is there something you wish to bring to my attention? I would like to investigate the murder case involving Sunry. That is acceptable. I believe in Manaan legal tradition, the defendant can have an arbiter who tries to prove his innocence in court. This arbiter is a neutral party that can investigate and present evidence in the trial and argue on the defendant's behalf. As you are a Jedi, I believe you would fulfill this role adequately. I suppose your Sunry's only hope. We have to at least try to help him. So be it. You are now appointed arbiter in the case of Sunry versus the Sith Empire. Your name and position have been recorded in our files. I will now inform you of the pertinent facts in this case. You have a limited amount of time in which to investigate and organize the defense of your client, and I advise you to use it wisely. Sunry was seen leaving a hotel, leaving behind a dead Sith woman, Elas Huros. He has been charged with the murder and is being held in Otto City prison facilities. Due to his injuries, witness claims to have seen him killing and are being detained in the hotel. Question pending the trial. The manager of the hotel has been informed of your appointment. Elasa was found dead with a blaster wound with an incriminating Republic medal clutched in her hand. This information has been uploaded to your datapad. It would be wise to review all information before the trial starts. You may question Sunry or the witnesses. The evidence in this case is heavily stacked against Mr. Sunry. I believe it will take some doing to absolve him of guilt.
Yes, but it almost seems too heavily stacked, doesn't it? Very suspicious.
You may also interview the judges here, including myself, to get an idea of the pertinent factors in this case. Since this is also your first case, and you are an off-worlder, I feel compelled to add good luck as my final missive. As arbiter of the Sunry murder trial, you have the authority to question me on matters pertaining to this case. Alright. I have questions about the trial. You have the right, arbiter, to ask me questions regarding the case. What do you think of Sunry? Is there anything suspicious about this case? What do you think of the Republic and the Sith Empire? So we'll just start with the... Sunry is known to us as a hero of the Republic in your perpetual conflicts with the Sith Empire. While he may have been severely injured in the line of duty, I personally hold him in quite high regard.
Speaking of that injury, has it been taken into consideration, Your Honor?
In no way does his disability hamper him, though. Rest assured that my personal regard for Sunray will not affect my judgment. While emotion may rule your Senate, the cold, hard hand of the law rules here on Manaan. Is there anything else you wish to ask me, human? Is there anything suspicious about this case? Yes, there is something that has been bothering me. The medal that was found clutched in the Sith's hand. I find it most odd that such a blatantly incriminating piece of evidence would be left at the scene of the crime. We have analyzed the evidence and it does not appear to be a replica, but I still have my doubts. In the midst of the crime, though Sunray could well have lost it, I have seen much more improbable things happen in my tenure to the courts.
Simply because it was real does not mean Sunray would have overlooked it being in Elassa's hand.
Is there another matter you wish to inquire about, human? What do you think of the Republic and the Sith Empire? The governing bodies of both states seek to keep an amicable relationship with our world in order to facilitate the exporting of KotOR. I do not delude myself into thinking that either of your states hold any great love for us, but we are necessary, so you will let us hold our autonomy. I try not to concern myself with intergalactic policy. I find it stretches the letter of the law too much for my tastes. Is there something else that concerns you, human? I have no further questions. Very well. When you feel like you have gathered enough evidence, you may speak to the warden in charge of the prison here, or where Sunray is being held. We will bring Sunray to us and the trial will commence. Next judge. So we're going to hop along to each of the judges. I suppose I must spend some time talking to you since you are here in official capacity. What do you need? So we're going to talk to each of the justices. They're going to kind of tell us what they think of the circumstances. And then we're going to go talk to Sunray. And then we'll probably fast travel back to the ship to see if we can trigger Juhani's mission. What do you think of Sunray? Sunray was a Republic soldier, a hero even. Do you think his Republic masters would let anyone so valuable go so easily? I think not. I think Sunray maintains his contacts with the Republic and seeks to escalate the situation here. Is there something else you require? Is there anything suspicious about this case? I find this case to be fairly straightforward. Sunray is from the Republic, Elassa is from the Sith. The great empires battling now live out their conflict through their minions too. Is that all? What do you think of the Republic and the Sith Empire? I do not buy into the Republic line that this is some epic battle of the good Republic against the evil Sith Empire. The Sith Empire is merely an expansionistic power, much like the Republic was early in its history. It is simply the turning of history, where the old is swept away by the better new. So that one's just kind of like, don't disturb me. And you'll kind of notice, like I said, the length that it goes for the country or the world to stay neutral. And this idea of some of them viewing it as not good versus evil. Just the turning of history, wars happen, whatever. Since you have been designated arbiter in the Sunry case, I shall answer questions that you might have. What do you think of Sunry? Sunry is a former Republic officer who is highly regarded by your people, who is admired by your people here in Manaan, and even seems to maintain some sort of relations with them still. If he is as capable as some of the Republic's citizens still believe him to be, he is certainly capable of actions that would result in this murder. Is there anything else you wish to ask in relation to this case? Is there anything suspicious about this case? Well, I have often wondered, if somebody were so innocent, why was he seen fleeing? Why would he have even been running if he had not committed the crime himself, or was at least aware of what had occurred? This case seems fairly simple and obvious to me. You Republic types stick together, however, I assume you will go to lengths to defend him. What else do you want to ask? What do you think of the Republic and the Sith Empire? Both empires are at fault for this current conflict. The Republic has been in the past for laying the foundations upon which the Sith Empire grew, and the Sith now, obviously, for starting the war. But no matter, the wrongs that have been done in the past, the Sith now have no cause for renewing hostilities. It almost seems as if they want to conquer everything. I believe that the Republic has every right to defend itself and to drop the Sith back to where they came from. Unfortunately for them, and perhaps for us, they do not seem to be doing too good of a job of it. Was there something else you would like to know? And so now we'll go down to this end and we'll get these two. So this one. I shall answer questions pertaining to the case and those questions only. What do you think of Sunry? I find the idea that some half-human cripple could murder someone as obviously competent as the Sith Alassa questionable at best. A man who can barely walk killed a Sith warrior in her prime preposterous. But I wouldn't put it past the Republic to try and arrange such circumstances to see her dead. The Sith are much more straightforward about their intentions. Is that all? Is there anything suspicious about this case? I find it presumptuous to assume that the cripple Sunry could kill Alassa. I think that there must have been another there who killed her. Perhaps one of the witnesses. I do not know the reason for the medal clutched in Alassa's hand either, but it may have been that she fought them off even as she died. I think this may be the work of some Republic conspiracy, and I'm not afraid to say so. If the only means I have of hurting the Republic is through Sunry, then so be it. What do you think of the Republic and Sith Empire? I think that the Republic is an institution in sore need of change. It has gone on too long, and the Sith are the fresh wind of change blowing across the galaxy. I do not believe in the false stories of the evils of the Sith Empire. They are nothing compared to the opposition and stagnation that the Republic represents at its core. If I were given the power to decide, Manaan would join with the Sith, forcing the Republic to accept the new face of the future. But sadly, it would appear that I am wiser than more farsighted than my immediate superiors. I am relegated to civil judicial matters. I will judge this case, and I will find Sunry as guilty as he is charged to be.
So nice to meet an impartial judge for a change.
Impartiality is one thing, blindness is another entirely.
You said it, not I.
Are you finished? I have no more questions now. Do not bring frivolous topics to discuss. I will only build trial.
What is it?
Yes, we know you are very grumpy. Ah, the Arbiter. Since you have been permitted to defend Sunray against these accusations, I shall assist how I can. What do you think of Sunray? Sunray was a great warrior in his time. He fought for the Republic against the Sith aggression and proved valorous. I have great respect for his accomplishments and find it tragic that he finds himself in his current condition. If the Republic had more individuals like him right now, I do not believe the Sith would be so great a problem for your people. Is there any other way I can assist you? Is there anything suspicious about this case? I find it questionable that a man with such a reputable past as Sunray would murder a Sith woman, especially not from behind. But knowing the Sith, there was probably some deception involved. They seek to do the same thing to us here. And there has been much pressure by the Sith on our government, and even on our judges themselves, to deliver a guilty verdict in this case. But the letter of the law is absolute, and we will not be compromised for Sith power games. Is there anything else you need? What do you think of the Republic and the Sith Empire? I find this great battle being waged across the galaxy both disturbing and ultimately tragic. For all its faults, your tottering Republic has benefited the vast majority of the galaxy for many millennia. To see it fall into ruin in such a short time. I do not like the Sith, that I make no effort to hide. I will even admit that if given the option, I would rule that we should join the Republic. But I must remain impartial and rule on this case as the law requires. Alright, so you kind of get the gist. Some of the judges are like, oh yeah, Sunry, he's a hero of the Republic. He's more than capable of murder. Oh, he's a hero. He's too valorous to commit murder. Too much honor. Oh, he's a cripple. He's not capable. You may come and go as you please, Arbiter. You will find the door unlocked. If you wish to begin your trial, you must make the request with the warden, and it shall be passed to the judges. We're going to go on in here. We're definitely not talking to the warden. We don't need to talk to this guy. But we do need to talk to Sunry.
Jolie, what are you doing here? Alora sent me, Sunry. I'm here to get you out of this mess. The courts went and made us arbiters for your case. Just like old times, eh, Jolie? You come swooping in out of nowhere to save my tail from the fire? You saved my wrinkle butt more than a few times as well, friend, if I recall. But there'll be time for catching up later. Right now, we need to focus on the case. The case is a complete frame-up. Anyone looking at the evidence could see that. Or so I thought. But the Cellcasts seem to think that there's enough to go to trial. There aren't any witnesses. All that evidence against me is circumstantial and completely flawed.
All right, let's go over the evidence.
Well, I was at the hotel, I admit. And I did meet Alasa there that night, but it's not what you think. I was working with Republic intelligence. We were pretending to feed information to the Sith. Well, I turned Alasa into a double agent working for us. It was going well, too, until she turned up dead. Maybe the Sith had found out I was turning her and had her eliminated. But let's look at the facts they've given. Alasa was brutally killed. Think about that. She was a Sith, trained in battle, and I'm just a crippled old man. My war injuries make it difficult for me to walk, even to hold things. See how my hands are shaking? How could I kill a Sith warrior at close quarters? I ask you. Further, they say they found my hero's cross at the crime scene. Would I leave my war medal behind if I killed someone? Even I'm not that stupid. Obviously, the Sith planted the cross. And what about the lack of forensic evidence? Skin and hair samples, clothing fibers. Why isn't there anything like that at the crime scene? Sounds like an obvious frame-up to me. I hope you can see how the Sith are manipulating the Cellcat, and probably even you to set up this against me. We need to get this over with quickly and clear my name. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial.
I need to investigate the case more. Any ideas where I should look?
Guess you could interview witnesses at the hotel where the murder happened. The Cellcath already did that, but the fish folk don't have much rapport with offworlders. Maybe one of them was holding something back. But I think you'd be better off in anything else I can help you with.
Sorry about that.
I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we
He
go to
basically
trial.
says you'd be better off investigating the Sith embassy.
Go ahead, ask.
The judges said that you left after the shot was fired.
How would they know? They weren't there. I heard some of the witnesses said that too, but I swear she was alive when I left. I wonder if the Sith have been putting pressure on people to get them to convict me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. They've had it in for me since the war. You should ask everyone about that. They might admit to helping the Sith under pressure.
Alright. I'll
Very
be
well.
going now.
I suppose there is still much you must do before. Once you've gotten enough evidence to go to trial, just tell the warden we're ready. The sooner I get out of the cell, the better.
Alright. So now we're going to get Jolie come back with us here.
What is it?
And you need?
What?
Let it not be said that this game doesn't have its glitches. Even after being basically remastered slightly to, or updated slightly to go onto the Switch. Here we go.
There she is. Get her, men. But remember, don't kill her.
That hurt, I bet.
And then we just gotta take care of this.
You seem to have defeated me, Ganther Worm. I'll have the last laugh in the end.
What do you mean?
Yes, what do you mean?
You may have killed me today, but I had the pleasure of killing off your species. Not everyone who fought alongside the Mandalorians did it for their stupid concept of honor. Some of us just did it for the pleasure. The pleasure of seeing your world burn.
You animal! You wretch!
But I'm want your petty vengeance now, girl, you can never have your revenge.
Do not give in to the dark side, Juhani.
I will not give him the satisfaction of seeing me give in to the dark side.
Worm, I killed your people on KotOR in the sky, on the ground, in their homes. I hunted them down like the animals they were, just to see them burn. But the treacherous beasts fought back and left me with injuries that meant I could never fight again. Or so they thought.
Stop trying to provoke her. This isn't going to work. We should just kill you now.
No, I will not give in to him.
I ended up in the lower city of Taris, and what did I find? A few of those stinking beasts living there. The male was easy enough to best, but the females proved elusive. I didn't know what happened to them after I killed the male. Until I saw this cursed woman on the auction block. But then the Jedi came and ruined everything before I could have my revenge.
You killed my father. You killed my people. You treat us like animals. You deserve to die.
Do not give in, Juhani. You are stronger than this.
Give in and embrace your hate. You are no better than me. You are nothing.
I...
Do not do it, Juhani.
Help me, please. Do not let me give in to my anger again.
There is no emotion.
There is peace. No, I will not do this. He may die, but it will not be out of my vengeance.
You coward. You weak.
And now he dead. And now we lose his body. 7 credits. Not much. And we'll go ahead and level up. Alrighty. We're going to go ahead. We're going to add that bonus to damage for our lightsaber. We get 1 power this level. We're level 17. We're going to get 1, 18, 19, and 20. So we're going to add that. And then this will be level 18. And then level 19. And then level 20. And the reason why I like to get Force Breach is it serves a really good purpose in the end game. Oh. And with our buffs, we can do just about anything that we need to do. As we head on back, we won't have to pay off the guy again because we didn't leave the planet. And where everything happened in our bay, it was considered basically our space, and no cameras observed the attack. This is a private conversation, off-worlder. Do we have any stealth? We do have some stealth, so let's see here. Stealth field generator. We'll go ahead and put on our stealth. Bummer. Try again. Okay. There's a couple of moments in the sequel game where you can put on stealth and you can catch some hit conversations. While you're disturbing me, can you not see I am overseeing the packaging of this KotOR? I think I'll be going now. But yeah, this is supposed to be the KotOR room. I cannot sell you KotOR unless you show me your purchase permit. I'll be going now. Which KotOR is the healing agent needed for medicine and would be eventually replaced by Bacta. Even though it is said that Bacta tanks are actually inferior to KotOR tanks.
Your precious Republic's days are numbered. It won't be long until Malak turns his armada loose on Coruscant itself.
Save your empty threats, Sith scum. Malak isn't stupid enough to attack the core worlds, now with the entire Republic fleet waiting for him.
You're a fool. When the Sith descend on Coruscant, our numbers will block out the sun itself. The galactic senators will collapse trembling in fear and beg for mercy at Malak's feet.
You underestimate the Republic's resolve. We'll die before we surrender Coruscant.
That can be arranged. Remember what happened to Taris. Malak could do the same to the core worlds.
He wouldn't dare.
Now it is you who underestimate our resolve.
So, this is the general store.
How much for all this stuff, Tyvark?
For the Sith, a month's pay, but since you're a member of the Republic, I'll charge you a week's salary.
Thanks, Tyvark. Catch you next week.
So he is a friend of the Republic. I've heard from several customers that you are now the arbiter in the murder trial of Sunry, the Republic war hero. I admire you for accepting this position. I have no doubt Sunry has been framed by the Sith. If there's anything I can do to aid your investigation, I will be happy to help. Do you know anything about the Sunry case? Unfortunately, I cannot offer any great insight into the matter. I suggest you investigate the murder scene, or perhaps talk to the other residents of the hotel where the crime occurred. Let me see what you have in stock. As you wish, human, my inventory contains the finest of Aerotech equipment you can find on Manaan. All of it is far superior to the Circle Corp's will the Sith are so fond of. So we can buy advanced med packs. But I mean, I figured we should probably go ahead and get... not really much else at this point. That we need. Alrighty. So, Visitor's Hotel is over here. Ignis.
You're the one defending Sunry now, huh? Well, the hotel's open for you. And I guess I gotta answer any questions you want too.
Tell me what you saw the night of the murder.
The Sith woman, Alasa, rented a room in the hotel. An hour or two later, Sunry comes in and goes to her room. Couple hours later, I hear a blaster shot and see Sunry running. He can't run good because he's a cripple, but he still was going pretty fast. I would swear he started after the shot, though.
Could it have gone off after he left?
Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure he left after the shot went off. No, I don't think so. I mean, it's possible, just barely. But I wouldn't say that to the court.
You could testify it happened after he left. I could pay you 200 credits to say it. I want to ask you something else.
Alasa used to rent rooms here every week or so. Then Sunry would come by a couple hours later and stay all night. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what was going on.
Who were the witnesses in the hotel?
There were only 2 other people in the hotel when it happened. One was a Rhodian named Glupor. Seems like a really dirty, shifty type. Normally I don't let his kind in here. I'm a reputable businessman, you know. But there weren't many people here, so I decided to take a chance. The other is a regular named Feareth Me. He's a Pazak player. Probably an addict, but he claims he's big in some circles. Don't know anything about him other than that. Anything else you want to know?
Alright. I have no more questions for now. So the next one is Feareth Me.
You with the Selkath? You here to see me about the murder too? I told the damn fish everything I knew. What more do you all want from me?
What do you know about about Sunray and Alasa?
Sunry, I only heard of once or twice in passing. Some sort of old-time war hero against the Sith. Seen him around in the hotel, too. Going to Alasa's room always, of course. Kept the rest of the building up half the night with their damn antics usually.
You mean Sunray was having a relationship with Alasa?
I'm not saying anything like that. What they did in that room, in private, is their business. And there isn't any rule against Sith and Republic seeing each other for personal reasons. Although if you think her Sith Master didn't know, you must be fooling yourself.
Sith Master?
Oh, well, Alasa was a Sith, so of course she'd have to have someone above her. Yeah, I didn't see anything.
Perseid, what did you see?
Well, one time, I saw Alasa coming in wearing this big cloak. I was on my way to my room, and she normally wears stuff like that, so I didn't pay her too much attention. But this time, I accidentally brushed up against her. Accidentally, of course. And her cloak fell open. Now, I don't have any qualms about the Sith. I leave them alone, and they leave me alone. And seeing as how Alasa had a Sith lightsaber under her cloak, I'm not going to poke that hornet's nest.
She was a dark Jedi.
Seems so. But I'm not getting myself in any further with the Sith. I know how ruthless they are. Now, that's all I'm going to tell you. I'll testify it to the court, but you aren't going to get anything else out of me.
Alrighty. Bring them in here to let us out. And now we head over to Glupor. You here with Selkath? You have questions for Glupor? Glupor already say everything he knows. I have a question about the murder of Alasa. Glupor tell everything to Selkath. You not know? Glupor have no reason not to say. Glupor tell everything. Everything about murder. Everything about Sith Lady's room. Why were you at the hotel? Glupor staying at a hotel. Glupor not very rich. Hotel much too rich for Glupor to live at. But Glupor stay for weeks and have enough to stay here, using Glupor's chance to live better for a while. What did you see? Glupor not see murder. Oh no, Glupor did not see Republic guy, the cripple, Sunry his name. Looper thinks Looper sees Sunry running away from the crime scene. Looper sees nothing else. Nothing else at all, especially not in Sith Lady's room. What about Alassa's room? Looper just curious to see what had happened. Looper had no reason to go into the room. No one pegged Looper to do it. Persuade. Did someone pay you to do something to that room, Looper? How about I give you 100 credits to tell me? We're gonna go with the first one. How you know someone pegged Looper? Well, Sith Man came up to Looper after murder, before Selkath arrived. He said he'd give Looper good money if Looper put metal into Sith's hand. Looper good. Looper plant evidence and leave no trace. But Looper not recognize Sith Man anyway. Looper not recognize humans very well. No use to Selkath, so not bother to tell them. Well, that and the Sith men say he killed Looper if Looper speaks. Looper thinks Looper can't talk more right now. Looper feels the need to lie down. Maybe just stay here.
No problem. Didn't work.
Skill too low. Can we party? Transition? Yes, we can. You know whose skill is not too low? Missions. Mission skill.
Yes?
Is hopefully not too low.
Gotcha. Simple.
Alrighty. All that for a med pack.
Sure.
And you need?
Huh?
What?
Alrighty. Mysterious man.
You, Jedi. I hear you're investigating the Sunry murder trial, are you not? This case is not at all what it appears to be. Many currents, might I say, flow beneath the surface.
What do you mean?
This murder is much more complicated than it may first appear. The Sunry and Elassa are proxies for their governments, and both sides want the other to fail. You can see the journey by the footprints. You understand, yes?
I think so, kinda.
I'm saying they both had something to do with it. They've both kept their hands in this from the start. If you want to get to the bottom of this murder, you might seek information from both the Sith and the Republic, likely in their embassies.
They just give it to me?
Of course not. You think state secrets are for sale on the common market? You would have to be devious to get what you want. Heed my advice, Jedi, and you may yet find the truths in this murder.
So that's the Republic Embassy. I'm gonna hold off on going there. Just a little bit longer. We're actually going to go back and we're going to talk to Sunry now that we know about his little affair. Because it should provide some more dialogue options, as well as the fact that she was a Dark Jedi. Then after that, we'll head back to the Republican Embassy to start the next chain of events. Now we can try going to the Sith Embassy, but they're not going to talk to us.
I hear you've been appointed as arbiter in Sunry's trial. My husband is innocent. Please don't let him go to jail for a crime he didn't commit.
Can you tell me anything about Sunry?
Sunry is... he's a cripple. There's no way he could have overpowered the Sith woman like they claim.
That's true. I'd forgotten about that. Let's not forget that he would have to have been considerably older than the Sith woman.
Are you saying someone your age couldn't overpower a woman?
I'm a Jedi, and one who was living alone in the Shadowlands until recently. That keeps you in shape, damn it. We're talking about Sunry here.
And there's no way he would do something so dishonorable as hit her from behind. Sunry's a decorated war hero. He's a hero of the Republic.
Your husband might not be so innocent, Alora.
This is all a plot to discredit the Republic. Sunry is a victim of a Sith frame-up.
It's possible. I haven't seen Sunry since I crashed on Kashyyyk. A man can change a lot in that time. A man I knew could never have done this crime, however.
Find the real evidence. That's all I ask. The real evidence will prove Sunry didn't do this.
Alright. We're gonna go talk to Sunry.
Jolie, coming to check in on an old man? I must confess, I would rather you were here to speak to the warden and begin my trial.
Soon, old friend. We don't want to go to trial until we've got the whole picture.
Oh, I grow weary of staring at these four bare walls. But I suppose you know what you're doing. You know, the role of arbiter cannot be taken lightly.
Let's go over the evidence.
Well, I was at the hotel, I admit. And it was going... But let's look at the... Alas, it was my... Obviously, I hope anything else... Go ahead, ask. Ask what you need to. I've got nothing to hide. A Rodian? I didn't know there were any Rodians on Manaan. Oh, except for Tyvark and this one named Glupar who's hanging around the hotel all the time. Okay, so maybe there are a whole bunch of Rodians on Manaan. But what does that matter? If he planted evidence at the scene, it's a clear sign of a frame-up. He probably took all the evidence of a Sith conspiracy keeps getting stronger, doesn't it? I suspect there's still stuff. Go ahead, ask. No, what this must look like, yes. Yes, we were having an affair. I know it was wrong, but I'm a weak man. Alasa was beautiful and young. How was I to resist her charms? But I didn't kill her. I loved her. Please. I know I made a terrible mistake getting involved with Alasa, but I was going there to break it off with her. I did it, but found out later that she was dead. I don't deserve to go to jail just for having an affair, do I? You have... Go ahead. Oh. Very well. Once you've gotten...
So we've got him to confess to the affair.
I hear you've been... He started seeing Alasa last year. I had my suspicions for a while, but he was careless. Pretty soon everyone knew. But even though I'm sure that harlot was only using him, I know he couldn't have killed her. He came and confessed to the affair to me. He said he was going there to break it off, to end it. Maybe the Sith woman attacked him, and he had to defend himself. But even though he cheated on me, inside he's still the man I loved. Loved. He's too kind and gentle to have killed her in cold blood.
He is a soldier, though. He has killed many Sith before.
That was a long time ago, in a war far, far away. He's changed now, settled down. This is all a plot.
It's possible.
Find the real evidence.
Oh, I'll find the real evidence. We'll get down to it. Alrighty. Now back to the Republic. embassy. And that's where we're going to find our real evidence. So, this Rodian here, Ulas, we would need to approach him without anyone else in the party. But if I recall, he kind of leads us down the dark side by having us do certain things. Why are you just standing here in the corner? Business? I'll leave. Okay. So yeah, he shells his op cards. Which is different than Sabak, which is what Han Solo played with Lando Calrissian for the Falcon. But to be fair, it's kind of like comparing poker to blackjack.
Welcome to Manaan. I'm Roland Wan. As the official representative of the Republic Embassy on this planet, I'm here to help all citizens of the Republic should they require aid.
Why are your soldiers loading so much KotOR? I'm on a mission from the Jedi Council. Perhaps you can help me with it.
Oh, of course. Of course I'll do whatever I can. But I'm only a simple diplomatic representative of the Republic. I doubt I can be of any use to the Jedi Council.
We're going to go ahead and mission the star map, though.
An ancient and forgotten race. And you think it may be here on Manaan?
You know something.
Perhaps. But if you want to get information about that, you'll have to do something for me first.
What do you want me to do?
We were using a submersible reconnaissance droid in the ocean surrounding Ahto City, and it was damaged. It took a data recording of the outside of the city before being driven off by the Faraxan sharks. But while it was returning to the surface, it encountered difficulties and was disabled. Its automatic systems floated it to the surface, but we could not retrieve it in time. The Sith were applying subtle pressure to the Selkath authorities for some reason we've not determined, and were able to delay us long enough that they could retrieve the droid before we did. The droid's data centers are heavily encrypted, so it will take the Sith several days, we believe, to get to its data. It was captured 12 hours ago. It is imperative that we get it back.
Where is the droid?
It's heavily guarded, we're sure, in the Sith embassy here on Manaan. Since we have no remaining soldiers to spare, and certainly not our elite ones, we have no one capable of entering the Sith base and retrieving it. That is what we would ask you to do.
How do I get in the Sith base?
There are several leads we've been working on to get into the Sith base. Any of them should work for you, although it might be wise to concentrate your efforts on just one. The first method that's possible is to help us interrogate a Sith prisoner we managed to catch after he tried to infiltrate our base. He's being held just inside our enclave. We think he may be able to give us the passcode that the Sith give their informers to enter the base. He has proved most resilient so far.
Is there another way?
We managed to pick up a crate of blank Sith data cards, the type they use for passcards. The encryption system to unlock them is very difficult, however. But if you are more skilled than our technicians, you may be able to gain access that way. The Sith have got the Selkath to give them exclusive use of one of the main hangar bays. Visiting Sith Masters use this bay to land, then take a speeder over the water to an external entrance to the Sith Enclave. The luckless spy we mentioned earlier had a pass card to that hangar on him. While it is surely well guarded, it may prove to be the most direct route. Here's the card. The Sith base itself is very heavily guarded. If they became aware of your presence, I fear you would be quickly outnumbered and killed. Here is a pass card to get you inside our facility. You should find all you need to get started in there. You can choose whichever of the methods you want, as long as you get in the base and get the data recording back. Which method do you think you would like to try first?
I I think I'll decrypt the passcode.
Good choice. We've been working at that for a while, but it's been too difficult so far. Maybe you'll have... I wish you luck in your task. Should you retrieve the data recording from the droid, return it here to me, and we can see about getting you that information.
Alrighty. So that gives us access to this base, and we've got the prisoner there. Which we'll go through that here in a moment. Control terminal.
So you're the one who's gonna try to get into the Sith base, eh? Huh, good luck, you're gonna need it. This is our main computer room here. We got the box of pass cards we got from the Sith, but we haven't been able to break their encryption yet. We have been able to decode the numeric system they use, but there are holes in our terminal sequence patterns. The strings of numbers that end the code sequences. If we could complete those strings, we would have the key to their encryption system. The encryption system is composed of 6 matrices. Each is based on a mathematical method. The holes we're missing are the final number in each of the strings. Most are simple, but the final 2 matrices seem to be much more difficult. The second last matrix has a pattern looping back on itself, or something. And the last is divided into smaller subparts. Maybe the pattern for that is within each part. But I have to admit, all this is a bit over my head. I haven't even been able to slice past the first matrix, and I've been at this for hours. I've ruined a dozen cards already. But the good thing is we have a whole box of them, so you don't have to worry about running out anytime soon. Since Roland said you were cleared, you can use the computer freely. I'll be here if you have any questions.
Alright. So we're gonna once again do a party swap. Only this time we're gonna take mission out, and we're gonna put in T3.
Yes?
Keep this level up. So, for combat purposes, we're gonna go ahead, skip out on this, because we've got a piece that will plug in for them. We'll go ahead and add that. So we can always put that in and that gets us that feed. Alright. Well, all we need to do is come up to this large computer. Slice the Republic system. Access restricted data archives. Downloading Sunry Incident Archive success. The computer screen switches to a fisheye view from some sort of small surveillance system. A beautiful young woman enters the room, followed by a much older man. As she walks further into the room, he softly closes the door, pulls a blaster, and shoots her in the back. This must be some sort of secret recording of Sunry murdering Alatha. Alright. Log off. Decrypt Sith pass card. So this is the additive matrix. Subtracting matrix. Duplicative matrix. Divisive matrix. Exponential. Logarithmic. Alright.
Sure.
Cannot remember the answers on that one.
So, you're the one Roland has got to help us interrogate this prisoner.
Because I
hope
am
your
not
Jedi
fully
powers
awake
will come
for
in
doing
useful.
math right now.
This one has been most resistant. He's a Sith spy we picked up a little while ago, snooping around outside trying to get in. We thought he was suspicious and brought him inside when the Selkath weren't looking. But it seems the Sith have done a pretty good job of conditioning this guy, and we haven't been able to break him yet.
What did they do to
The
him?
Sith protect their really important spies with some sort of mental force feedback system. They can turn their minds in on themselves, so force compulsions won't affect them. Combine this with conventional training to resist interrogation, and sometimes it takes months to get them to tell what they know. Do you want to interrogate him now?
Yes.
Well, the training the Sith gave him will protect him from most normal interrogation techniques, and also from force persuasion. We have found a few hooks you might find useful. He was with another man when he was first spotted. We think it was another spy, but we didn't manage to catch him. We also seized some personal documents he had on him when he was captured. It would seem that he's married to a woman named Tila. We checked this in our computers, and it seems to hold up. We've sent a couple of agents to investigate, but it may be a while. What we have here is your standard issue truth serum. It should make him spill his guts in no time. But there is a catch. Because of his conditioning, he's able to resist it at small doses. But if you give him too much, his body realizes what you're trying to do and shuts his mind down completely. If you do that, you'll have to inject him with an antidote that neutralizes the truth serum. Unfortunately, that too has a drawback. It causes short-term memory loss. This may work to your advantage because you can try the same tactic over and over again. But if you use it too much, he may forget everything we want to know. Shall we get it?
Yes.
Hey, you! Wake up.
What do you want?
Relax. I'm not here to threaten you. Maybe we should do something about Taylor. We know about your companion.
What companion?
Persuade why we don't really need you. Your companion will tell us everything we need to know anyway. If you don't tell us, he will suffer. Perhaps we should give you back to the Sith, but keep him.
Of course, they would never believe we let you go so easily, but they would all too happily believe you betrayed them.
You can't do this to me. They would kill me in ways too horrible for you to imagine.
We don't really need you. Your companion will tell us what we need to know anyway.
The gutless Sith worm is already starting to crack. We'll have what we need within hours.
He wouldn't talk. Or has he already? No. But please don't hurt us. Or... You're not.
We're the only ones who will take you in now.
The Sith will never trust you again, spy. We're the only place you have left. Tell us what we want to know.
Damn.
Giving up.
Alright. So we can go through that. But my favorite approach is usually just to straight up go to the docking bay and go that way. So we're going to return to the Ebon Hawk because that gets us a little closer on the loading screens. We can talk to Jolie here in a moment too, because now that we know that Sunry did in fact murder Alasa, he's got a little something to say here.
Got something on your mind, dude? Did I say that? Strange the tricks memory plays on you when you get older. Didn't I say that my past was my affair? You don't see me poking and prodding you with questions, do you?
But you've already said so much. I'm curious. You're just not used to company. Stop being an old coot.
I'm not here to satisfy your curiosity. No staring at the old man. That's what the sign says, damn it. And besides, you don't really want to hear about me. We're talking ancient history. Probably before you were born. History bores kids. Proven fact.
Yeah, well, old people love to talk about history. Proven fact.
Oh, fine. Have it your way. Just don't cry about it later. Yes, I was an adventurer. Happy now? I wasn't even done with my Jedi training back then. I had a full head of hair and an eagerness to see absolutely everything. Sound familiar? The Council was never happy with willful, brash Jolie Bindo, you see. Even less so when I began my smuggling career.
You were a smuggler?
Don't look at me like that, damn it. I wasn't always the wrinkled coot I am now, you know. I can still fight, too. So wipe off that smirk I see there. At the time, the Yukata system was interdicted by its own king. He preferred to keep his people starving and poor, all the better to oppress them. The Senate was trying to negotiate a peace, but they were getting nowhere as usual. I decided I wasn't going to wait. I found myself a ship and a partner, and we began smuggling food and supplies to the Yukata citizenry through the blockade.
Where did you get those credits, old man?
Well, we didn't buy all the equipment per se. Some were happy to donate goods. Some we just knew had more than they could use.
So you stole it?
Stole is such a harsh word. They would have donated those goods readily enough if they were compassionate. I considered it a tax on the greedy. We only got caught once. A lone Yukatish frigate shot us down and forced a crash landing. I thought the Force had abandoned me, as I remember.
What happened then?
Well, as it happens, getting shot down turned out to be very fortunate. That day was the day
That was the day you what?
That was the day I met my wife.
Your wife? You're married?
You know another way to get a wife? But yes, that's when I met her. If it's all the same to you, I'd prefer to stop.
Again, I love Jolie's character. And the kind of sassy back and forth between the player character and Jolie, I think, is just hilarious. I don't know why it's so funny to me. It shouldn't be as funny as it is. Like I said, the only thing I can think of is just my dad is a slightly grumpy old man. And he reminds me of my dad in that sense. And one of the things that my dad endlessly likes to talk about is history, particularly political history, which naturally, as a kid, you would think I would have been bored, but I found quite intriguing, to be honest. Horrible with dates, but loved hearing stories. Alrighty. Oh, Master speed. And then we'll deal with this. You know what? We'll deal with this guy. Then we'll deal with the Grenader. And then the Elite Trooper. Kind of saving that Dark Jedi for the end. Not that he's a problem. But we did know that he would have a lightsaber while the other ones had ranged weapons. So we're going to give it a glance around here to see if we can find any loot. But we're about to the end of our episode for today, which we've done a lot of the legwork that we need to do. So we're going to go ahead and jump on this transport and take it to the Sith base. And then once we're on the Sith base, we'll save, and that's where we'll be picking up next time. But yeah, there was a point in time where I would try to go ahead and get the experience of talking to the spy and forcing a confession out of him and doing the pass cards. But the reality is, I am going to hit the level cap regardless of what I do here with where we're at now. So the extra experience really isn't that necessary. Everybody has their own path of how they can do this. This one makes it a little easier if you don't feel comfortable with doing the mathematics, or if you're just like me and just feel like being lazy about it because it's more effort than you're really feeling up to at the time. Obviously the last two of the mathematical questions are the issue. I believe it was specifically the last one that I answered incorrectly. But that's okay. I went with a prime number, thinking that was what they were after, but wasn't really paying attention to the problem. The interrogation is such that I'm too nervous to risk dark side points at this point, because I really want to get us to max light side here soon. So rather than take the risk, because I can't remember if that's something that will happen, is even though it's lying and we're not going to actually hurt him, still lying and threatening to do bad things just doesn't sit right with me for what we would need to do for that. So that's why I opted to come over here. And Brandcast is going to be more of a straightforward, we're just going to go in there, we're going to get the Sith base, we're going to get the codes, and then we're going to find the evidence that the Sith have for Sunry as well. And then we'll complete the Manaan storyline probably next episode that we do for our KotOR playthrough next week. And then as far as tonight's stream goes, I think tonight we're going to be holding off. I've got some family obligations really early in the morning tomorrow, as well as some things that have popped up tonight that I'm just not sure that I would have enough time to prepare the resources I need for the builds that we're wanting to do tomorrow anyway. or tonight anyway. So I may end up canceling tonight's stream. If I can get the resources together, I will pop on and we will do a short stream for Pokopia tonight. But otherwise, I think we may need to kind of hold back and wait until Tuesday's stream to continue our Pokemon playthrough, and then tonight's stream may be canceled. So I apologize for the inconvenience and not knowing 100% what I'm going to be able to do at the moment. I'm going to leave it on the schedule just on the off chance that I'm able to get enough together that we can get started on stuff. Because I feel bad about trying to grind for resources on stream. I feel like that people would much rather see me do the building aspect and the creative side of it, rather than see me go running around a dream island collecting everything I can. But thank you for joining me, and I hope you had a wonderful time, and we will see you for the next stream, be it either later tonight at 10:30, or which, if we do it, it'll be 10:30 to 11:30, and if not, then I will be seeing you hopefully next stream on Sunday for Shiny Sunday. I had mentioned possibly getting that done earlier. Right now, I want to stick with that 2:30 time slot, and we'll see about maybe next week, or the next Sunday, moving that to maybe like a 12:30 or a 1:30 time slot. I'm still having to see what's going on and where we can adjust things. So thank you for joining me. I hope to see you again soon. And as always, please like, subscribe, follow, depending on where you're at watching this. You can find me on YouTube and Instagram as well as Twitch. So hope to see you there.